and it was hot. But I don't know what everyone's so worried about on your side there. Anderson Cooper, Cuomo said a lot.
We don't have a side. Let's just say we're here to tell the story.
From the reporters from your station on the prime time, there are a lot of unkind things. I don't know what's to be concerned or upset about. Just asking for transparency. I know the narrative is from several of them over there. It's about overturning. There's no extensive claims. How do we know? I mean, has Anderson Cooper done an investigative journalism?
Well, let me ask you this.
Cuomo does that. All I want to know is what happened.
Let me ask you this, though. That's one thing you didn't mention. You know
yes.
that dozens of judges and courts around the country have ruled against Trump's voting claims, and a lot of them are Trump-appointed judges. And even the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay. Is there a higher authority than the courts?
Well, it is the
people. Do you really think the people are above the courts? This is the country of laws.
They're serving us. They're elected by us.
Supreme Court. You know that Donald Trump expected the Supreme Court.
Where do we derive the power, the government?
From the people.
So you're saying the people are above the courts. So you guys at this rally are above the courts.
So I'd be careful with twisting. That's a bit partisan there. What you just made an assertion.
You tell me what you said.
So what I'm saying here is that I work in the legislative branch. You got me a little flustered. So I'm a senator, and I work for the people of my district, obviously, the 33rd District of Pennsylvania. And about 40-some%, the number is as high as 47, but about 40% or so, had concerns about the outcome of the election. And so what are we supposed to do? Stand aside or ask for an audit, a forensic audit, not a recount? What I saw in Arizona is being very misrepresented, of course, on your station. It's not a fraud. I don't know why any news station would make that assertion. That's a partisan assertion.
But there's been 2 recounts in Arizona already by independent groups. This is Cyber Ninjas, a Florida group that's never done elections before. Are you would you like Democrats to come here with the Cyber Ninjas and overturn your vote?
You're afraid of transparency.
I'm not afraid of nothing.
You're terrified.
I'm not afraid of nothing, Senator. Are you afraid of Democrats coming here?
He's afraid of a proper forensic, and I wonder what are we afraid of here?
The truth.
The truth.
Would you want Democrats to do that here?
Why did the Democrats ask for it?
It was really heartbreaking.
There have been 2 recounts.
What really heartbreaking is I mentioned in my speech, I've seen better elections in Afghanistan, and
You really think that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You and I have both been in Afghanistan.
Why do I say that? So in Afghanistan,
they have the lawyer Jergo.
In Afghanistan, they have to go in with an ID card. In Pennsylvania, no IDs are. And I don't advocate what we did next, the international community. Since Taliban are killing people with international IDs issued by the international community, we thought, and dipping their finger in the inkwell, okay, there was problems. So then they went to biometrics. Now, I don't advocate biometrics. That's a violation of our privacy. But we went so far in a country that's been disrupted by war, invasion, civil war since 1979 has better. And this is I don't say this I say this as an American. Better elections than I see in Pennsylvania. Because when I'm told, and we want to have an ID, is that racist?
No.
I mean, and that any news station would perpetuate a talking point from a party, it just shouldn't be. I wish we had the caliber as we had in 1994, as I talked about, where, the Inquirer, now I wish they were like this, but they did an investigation in 94 with the Mark Stinson race, and their investigation resulting in a senator whose position flipped the Senate to the Democrats and flipped it back to the Republicans as a result of so much fraud. All I want is a full forensic audit. And you know what? If there's nothing, let the cards and chips fall where they may. If the results, that's right. If they were as good as Governor Wolf and Josh Shapiro says they are, fantastic. And then the people in the state will say, I have faith in it. It was probably conducted. And I hope not, but if the results show that there was extensive fraud, because we don't know, if there was extensive fraud, then it's up to us to make changes and corrections legislative-wise so people can walk in and know that their vote counts. Right now, it's compromised. The way that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and they're elected positions. Yep. And so 5 of the 7, of course, are Democrat. They changed the law on 17th September. Now, that should have been challenged to the U.S. Supreme Court, and it never did. And then our Secretary of State, of course, made additional changes afterwards.
By the way, in 2019, you voted.
But
General Assembly voted
but I don't know why you're afraid of full transparency. I think it's time to. Why not? Why not?
Well done.
Thank you.
Are we done?
Yeah, we are.
You should not be on one
I
side.
gave you something.
You're supposed to be bipartisan as media. What the heck is that?